Clap. And Feudal Flaw.
Blue's Clues, a television show. A man speaks directly to camera. This man speaks to the camera as though it was a child. This child is given time to respond.
Who is most capable of savagely confronting power? Who is most capable of savagely confronting power? Youth. We know from history that it is youth who are most frequently capable of savagely confronting power. Substitution formats, non-surveillance, thrown into loops.
In the universe of Blue's Clues, a cartoon dog named Blue lives with this man at a consistent address, domestic, floating around him, working with the animated household.
The domestic ability to commune with the outside world is inconsistent. Who enters? Who's entering? It's difficult to divine what fragments from the exterior will appear.
Each episode of Blue's Clues was made to be shown repeated at the same time on 5 consecutive weekdays. The man, Steve, thus faces the same mystery and process of solution finding daily. Blue, the dog, is complicit in the mysteries that Steve needs to solve, and leaves Steve and the child viewer, paw prints, directing the case. Steve does the bidding of the mystery. Don't you feel superior to this wide-eyed man? Blue, then, can be aligned to the architecture of a theater, premeditation and presence. Like theater, there's very little promise of actual discovery. This is Steve. He goes through motions. Blue is the theater, the scenario, and entertainment. I am obedient, and have nothing planned. I will let the space reveal itself.
Thinking of you in my sleepless solitude. If it's wrong to love you, then my heart just won't let me be right. 'Cause I drowned in you, and I won't go through. I give my all to have just one on my groove. I'd risk my life to heal. Okay, now, if you can clear a path in the diagonal, that would be good.
With the theatre as blue, all signs point to misery. Violent, metaphysical misery. No recourse. A recursive televised loop. Explicit discoveries. The walls are green. The future expectant. Awaiting animation. Blue. The dark is real.
I'm still a man. My fourth wall is up. The third eye is open. Language as a vessel for prophecy, beside other symbols and cryptography, loud whispers, vocal spaces. And look, the lens is territorialization temporarily. Your fealty is sworn to me, and I serve the state. So take that, any given. In this thing that we could have together, we're still of an uneven technocracy. Power to broadcasters, power to harvest, reaping, sowing, plenty, alternatives greed, prefigured gestures, benefactors, workers, beneficiaries, audience, patronage. On some nights, to be here is worth $58. Sometimes, with rush tickets, it costs 10. Balconies are desirable seats. The first circle, the second circles, the stalls, they're mostly empties. Sightlines, lord over balcony boxes, other old hierarchical roles. Throw them out. Right? There must be other ways to see. I'm performing, so yes, I'm paid to be here. Within this framework, I'll receive a few $1,000, not much. You'll receive more. Of course, there is compensation to other forms. I'm recompensed in different ways, but I am paid in cash. What does it matter? Feudalism. And this, when it's working, we're really in our own world. I mean, I'm not in this for the money. This is not a theater of illustration. It's political theater. I'm paying to be here with time, neurons, cash. The toll is great. This is prophetic theater. I take roles as unconvincing as I can manage, but as continuous as I please. All thought that ever existed is attached to fear. Do you know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid of being perceived as acting. That would be the worst possible thing. To be perceived as dishonest. Acting. No. Pretending
to have a more arresting or arrested position than I know, that would suck. I am real.
All legal systems are still inchoate, developing, rudimentary, right? I'm not sure who is most ready for that. All legal systems are still inchoate, developing, rudimentary, right? Democratic obsession, all weirdness about locating power, all subjects frustrated by employment even if they're blissfully happy, all fail to understand that's totally beside the point. Oh yeah. Blue. Well, the dog is excited, the dog looks horny, helplessly up in space, legs akimbo. Eminence. Still attached to some notion of property. Territory, transforming it. I'm still attached to some notion of property, territory, transforming it. Historic theatre has had a moral function. Historic intention, suggesting a reason to galvanize as a body of people. But did you hear that all the world's a stage? Almost all is framed by lenses, and the lens is limited. It's not completist. Clueless governance, crunched down into self-forsaking fantasia.
Digital tithing. Digital tithing. Separation of state, estate, and private service. We meet tonight on ceded territory. Reality check for ambience. We can still hear the cars at the highway. They drive on the smoothest line. It's a humid evening. I smell chocolate.
Hey, look around. Who could blame me? Wouldn't you also look at this room and want it all? Want everything? I want everything. I want what my eye takes. I realized lately that I'm older. That's also territory opening up. I know no substitution. Some ground is totally fallow. I mean, what can I say? We're Protestant, straight-laced, subsidized and unhappy. Most of my wardrobe is short-sleeved checkered shirts. Did I mention I'm balding? Lines become divisions. The dog, blue, diverts me with paw prints to what blue calls clues, marked representations, this persistent cluing. Cartoonish simplification, church-state tax, to be a man on stage in the middle of the day. I am the obvious site of production. But my subtextual name is written down as Paradise Intaglio, a sharp tool on metal plate cutting channels, ink filling to imprint. Paradise Intaglio. They say everything related to paradise insists on naming its relationship to it, to paradise. Heavenly motives, sweet verses, a pat of butter, melting pan of gnocchi, as some angelic dealer or ship factory cries about ascendancy. I cannot reveal the reality and extent of my depression. Paradise Intaglio.
War is green. Blue dog jumping here around the light. The viewer gets the voice of the child. The viewer believes deeply that they're spoken to through the lens. Their entertainment is educational, transactional. They spell words to solve the mystery that the dog is an accomplice to. That subjugated post-verbal dog. The thinking chair is a site of governance. The thinking chair. The thinking chair.
Here, I think I am. Thinking about people struggling. Thinking about prospects for gods, undersecretaries who serve them. Thinking about assaulting the armory from a perch on the mantle. I'm thinking about physicists and the clothes they wear to kill people, their indirect power, the coldness of not being seen, subterfuge. Thinking about destiny and commerce, about the deep smell of pages and skin like parchment. Thinking about reference and motivation. Thinking about being perfect, seeing the best climate for raising kids. Thinking about the states of champagne. Thought bubbles. Thinking about roads we've driven on.
and thinking how long it would take me to walk. I'm in a secretary shared by 3 men in office. A typist who wants to make more money. A secretarial typist who fell into the role because I passed as a stenographer and I wanted money. Mechanical pursuit, aspiration. My short-term goal is to save and buy a boutique dog to sit with and be a reason to leave the room once in a while for walking. A boutique dog who divert attention away from my body in a positive way. Do you see me catching language? Do you see me catching language? Stenographic loops, shorthand. My job has to remain my first language. I stay committed to law, L-O-R-E. No fiancés who want to travel. No fiancés who want to travel and use that to signify their openness to growing together. Growing together. The veneer of experience for a curriculum vitae. Experience for a curriculum vitae. Parasocial and paraprofessional questions. The mechanism. The protection of my overlord. As a secretary, to know my job, to want a cup of tea and immediately know I have chocolate biscuits to serve with it, to put on the kettle, to burn the skin white, burn it green, burn it pink, so it builds into an abjection of color, to call people the F word, even though it's not in my vocabulary. Shh. To find cheap ways to change the mood, shortcuts. Hey, you, no you. Come here, come on, come up. No, really. Come on into the space. Don't just stay there. Come on, come on, come on. And you can go around. You can be blue now. Right? You're blue now. Come on, make the noise that blue makes. Come on. Go for the camera. Come on, let's go. Make a sound. You can do it. Shortcuts. Suspending disbelief, but not for change. Every time you walk around a city with a placard of anti-war sentiment, don't you slowly become more aroused, protesting? Methinks you doth protest too much. Aroused with stupidity, believing you can make a difference by walking. That same accruing principle as the fun run model, where you ask people for money to walk in a prescribed line around some city. Visibility. A socialized body. Historical weapons. That's the aphrodisiac. The willingness to respond to systems within the system. Protesting, protesting. Open secrets don't feel like secrets anymore. We let everything get absorbed, steeped, like teas. And then the chocolate biscuit thing is a dryness that soaks a rigid structure, just soggy or porous or crumbling. Walking around shouting, continuous speech, circular. Demanding rights, whistling with intensity and fury, asking, dragging on, to come out of the house, to do it at night, to do it in the afternoon, a vigil at dawn, the meaning of candlelight, quick burning down. Protest. No more machinery, no more machinery. I'm back to my notebook, my handy dandy notebook. Just me, my name, the anime objects, and me. I don't know if they that I could be a better child to my parents, a better sibling to my brethren, so the disciplinary science, the ineffectiveness of thinking. Which type of sword would you wish to run through your soul? I know almost nothing about weapons. Is copper too soft? Cautious suburban eyes show dollar signs. Too expensive. I look at things from a weapons cabinet or face dark war museum. The armory. Which type of sword do I wish to run through my soul? I'm thinking about a great brass monstrosity, almost already tinged with green of oxidation. That's my preferred shade green. Bronze over copper, actually. A verdant blooming as though enamored with spring. Springtime, spring, spring. Geological time blinks and web bleeding past the line. We passed it. I'm inside a house that exists in a copy of a Roman Etruscan temple. Impose your architectural purpose inside this structure. A bleeding, a print making, a break. Reflective. City, suburb, transitive, move to country. The country. I'm looking for the next clue.
Cut.
Looking for the...
Cut. Okay, Steve, you have a break now.
I don't want any more tea. It's not my kind of break. The next solvent I choose, the next drink, the ink substitute is Ovaltine, the industrially produced malted powder that I'll mix with skim milk and then heat in the microwave. Now, I'm into technology and into the conveniences that it offers. Transfer it to a vacuum water milk to carry to the hold, and that's parked in the carport, ordered off with water. Share of the school you attended for years. The house is an assemblage like the temple. Byzantine references for the carriage house and stables. Like that fantastic mimesis. Ovaltine pleasure sells itself from the shift that some jobs are rife with services and otherwise. The belief of energy must rest with a heavy stock take to electric lamp. I think you do know people that there's nothing going on here. I know what I always wanted to talk. Always want to see how to. I think we're plenty. I got a hair transplant. My hairline is suddenly my brow line again. Time loops. I dodge away. When I'm with an animal, a dog, or otherwise, I'll shift my dependency radically. My dependence on others must be
my wealth, even if it doesn't feel integrated.
Feudal titles, divided by arbitrary lines across the real estate plot. The real estate plot, the impressions of the earth, gather thoughts, paradise and powder, powder etching version, lines and impressions, print and writing, communications, symphonies, me and us. I would only be in your way. So I go, but I know I'll think of you every step of the way. And
Luigi Russo was an Italian futurist who professed that ancient life was silent. What an oracle sees is also what we fail to communicate, or the failings of that. Failings as the state of things, the fool's errand of producing meaning for an audience that is misunderstood, which is divine, working with a willingness to move towards an acceptance, an urgency of change, symbolic decrees.
I swear my life to you. I swear my life to you. How you protect me. When I first read about the avenging cranes of Sheila, I mistook them for storks. It's a common mistake across history. Could you describe a stork, crane, or heron? Confidently pick them out of a lineup. Sure, they've got long, sharp beaks, wings, right? Which are the birds that bring babies? Mythology? That disciplinary law that brings natural pattern to govern away, explain away phenomena, moral railing. They do not bring babies. Some use that as a way to avoid the poisonous language of science. Reproductive sexuality, the origin of things as coming from blue. My painful naivety about the origin of things. Oblivion in the face of decades of pervasive pornographic innovation. Humbling, numbing the transgression of biblical thought. My mother doesn't know who I am sometimes. She says this. I'm not giving away too much by reading that. She's just an older woman, astonished that even though she raised me with her values, I behave as though my primary pleasure is masturbation. I behave like a dog. Off camera, I love to rub my genitals against surfaces, the erogenous zones around it. Do you like it too? I run my fingers down my thighs as far as they can go, toward my clavicle, all the bumps in between, and after I ejaculate as hard and as far as I can, I'll wipe myself on discarded socks and throw them to the side. Games. We surrounded by the
Deranged labor market.
Who can map the chain of dependencies?
See and distribution in your production now.
I work in temporary glimpses of productivity, passing productions. The power to make a historical sentence blots away with every reproductive thing you do. Swear to me to be anti-love, anti-society, anti-surplus, pro-solitude. I'm just trying to get a causality. The reason why things happen. Why we're so divided. Do you like cartoons? Comics? Line-bound fictions of characters. I want to be unafraid to ask for help, speaking confidently to the void, only burdened by the knowledge that my task will be complete.
Techno-feudalism as mark-making practice. Housing crises for the serfs without property. Demographic stagnation. ascendancy. Steel inside the autonomous house, familiar and safe becomes. Safety logs of camera surveillance. Antichrist is just equal to the possibility of restructuring society.